Imagine a small, old-school diner in Chicago's Lincoln Square neighborhood. The sign outside is flickering. It says The Five Sisters. Inside, the air smells like coffee and hope. This diner is the heart and soul of the Bennett family. But the heart is failing. Carol Bennett, the matriarch, stares at a stack of unpaid bills. She has 5 daughters: Jane, the gentle pastry chef; Lizzie, the fiery food blogger; and the younger 3, all working as waitresses. Their diner is their legacy, but in a city obsessed with Michelin stars and trendy pop-ups, their simple, honest food is being forgotten. The clock is ticking. They have 1 month to turn things around before the bank forecloses.
Their only hope is a massive food festival, the Chicago Fork, happening in Millennium Park. It's a place where a single bite can make a career. But to get a booth, they need an invitation from a major food world player. They don't have one. How can they possibly get noticed in a city that has already moved on? Here's the truth this story will show you. In the world of food, we believe taste is everything. But what we truly judge is the person who made it. A dish is just a dish, but the story behind it, the hands that cooked it, that's what we fall in love with. The grill sizzles. A customer laughs. Lizzie pulls out her phone and opens her blog, The Unpretentious Palate. She's ready to fight for her family, one word at a time. The battle for Chicago's culinary soul is about to begin. The story moves to a sleek, minimalist art gallery in the West Loop, hosting a pre-festival party for Chicago's food elite. Jane, the pastry chef, has brought her signature lavender honey macarons. A man walks up to her. He's Mike Bingley, a young, charming entrepreneur who just opened the city's hottest new restaurant. He takes 1 bite of Jane's macaron. His eyes light up. It's an instant, magical connection. He doesn't just taste the honey, he tastes her heart. But then his friend arrives, William Darcy. Darcy is not a chef. He's not a restaurateur. He is the city's most feared food critic. His column in the Chicago Tribune can build a kingdom or burn it to the ground. He's tall, imposing, and his expression is permanently unimpressed. Lizzie, ever protective, offers him a macaron. Darcy glances at it, then at her, and says coolly, "I don't review home cooking. It's sentimental." He turns his back, dismissing her and everything her family stands for in a single breath. Lizzie is stunned, the insult burning hot in her chest. Mike Bingley, meanwhile, is so taken with Jane that he invites the whole Bennett family to the grand opening of his restaurant. But Darcy will be there, watching, judging. What happens when the city's toughest critic comes face to face with the family he just insulted?
The clink of champagne glasses fills the air. Jane is blushing, talking to Mike. Lizzie is staring at Darcy's back, her mind already composing a scathing blog post. The feeling shifts from sweet to sharp, like lemon zest.
Bingley's restaurant is a masterpiece of modern design. The music is low, the lights are dim, and every plate looks like a work of art. The Bennett sisters feel out of place, but Jane is glowing. Lizzie spots Darcy in a corner, observing everything. But she's distracted by someone else, a charming, handsome man named George Wickham. He's a freelance chef, and he quickly pulls Lizzie into a conversation. He tells her a terrible story. He claims he and Darcy grew up together, and that Darcy, in a fit of jealousy, wrote a single devastating review that got George blacklisted from every kitchen in the city. "He destroyed my career," George says, his voice full of convincing pain. Lizzie's dislike for Darcy hardens into pure hatred. The next morning, the city wakes up to Darcy's review of Bingley's new restaurant. It's not just critical, it's surgical. He praises the design, but tears the food apart for being all style, no substance. The review is a disaster for Mike. Scared of the association with the sentimental Bennett family, he stops calling Jane. He disappears. Did Darcy write that review just to tear them apart? The sound of a newspaper hitting a coffee shop table. Lizzie reads the review online, her fingers trembling with anger. Jane is heartbroken. The feeling is cold and bitter, like a forgotten cup of coffee. Weeks pass. The diner is closer to closing than ever. One rainy night, Lizzie is walking through the empty stalls of a closed farmer's market, feeling defeated. A figure steps out of the shadows. It's Darcy. The rain plasters his hair to his head. He looks stripped of his usual armor. And then he says it. Not an apology, but a confession. He tells Lizzie that against his better judgment, against everything his critical mind tells him, he has fallen for her. He admires her passion, her loyalty, her fire. He makes a clumsy, arrogant offer to invest in her and her family. Lizzie explodes. She throws every accusation at him. His snobbery, his cruelty to George Wickham, and how he deliberately ruined her sister's happiness. Darcy doesn't argue. He just stands there, taking it. Then he does something unexpected. He pulls out his phone. He shows her a saved draft in his notes app. It's an investigative article he never published. It details how George Wickham wasn't a victim. He was a con artist, fired for trying to steal a restaurant's recipes, and worse, nearly causing a food poisoning scandal. Darcy had buried the story to protect the family of a young apprentice Wickham had manipulated. He then shows her his original, unsent review of Bingley's restaurant. The critique was aimed at the head chef, who Darcy knew was cutting corners. He was trying to warn his friend, not hurt Jane. He looks at her, his face full of regret. The truth is often a messy dish, he says, and deletes the draft. He turns and walks away into the rain, leaving Lizzie alone with the screen glowing in her hands. The rain falls harder. The phone screen is dotted with water. Lizzie's entire world has just been turned upside down. The man she hated might be the most honorable man she's ever met. Lizzie is changed. Her pride, her certainty, and her own judgment is gone. She writes a new blog post. This one isn't about food. It's about the people who make it and the people who judge it. She writes about the danger of a first impression and the courage it takes to admit you were wrong. The post is honest, vulnerable, and it goes viral. A few days later, the bell on the diner door jingles. It's William Darcy. He's not dressed in a fancy suit. He's wearing a simple jacket. He doesn't say a word. He just sits down at the counter. Lizzie's mom, Carol, nervously asks what he wants. "I'll have a slice of your apple pie," he says, looking directly at Lizzie. She serves it to him. He picks up his fork, takes a bite, and chews slowly. He looks up at her, and for the first time, a small, genuine smile touches his lips. "It's perfect," he says. The apology's unspoken, but it hangs in the air, sweeter than the pie. It's a truce. But is it more? Can a food critic and a food blogger from two different Chicago worlds actually build something together? The diner is still failing. The clock is still ticking. The sound of a fork gently tapping a plate, the low hum of the diner's old refrigerator. For the first time in months, the silence between them is comfortable. The story ends not with a wedding, but with a grand reopening. Darcy didn't just offer an apology, he offered his help. Using his connections, he helped the Bennetts secure a small business loan. He convinced Mike Bingley that he had been a fool, and Mike and Jane found their way back to each other, their love even stronger. The Five Sisters Diner is transformed. It's been renovated, still cozy, but with a new shine. It's now celebrated as a gem of authentic Chicago cooking. On the reopening night, snow is falling outside, blanketing Lincoln Square. Inside, the diner is warm and full of life.
Jane is running the new expanded kitchen. Mike is by her side, working the front of the house. Lizzie is at her usual corner table, her laptop open. The bell jingles. William Darcy walks in, shaking the snow from his coat. He slides into the booth across from her. He doesn't speak, just pushes a warm mug of coffee toward her. She looks up from her screen, and her smile is the brightest thing in the room.
They are a team now. Her unpretentious palate and his discerning eye. Her warmth and his standards. They found the perfect balance. They didn't fall in love at first sight. They learned to see each other clearly. And in the heart of a big, tough city, they built a small, warm world together, proving that the best meals are the ones shared with love. The story is complete, and it tastes like coming home.